Next.
Hello. This is Alyssa's fault.
Thank you, sir. Have a great rest of your
stuff on
weekend.
here.
Thank you. You do so.
All right. Good morning. Is this Miss Bennett?
Yes, sir.
Good morning, ma'am. You were here today for your first appearance, and my understanding the jail has advised you of your rights. Miss Bennett, you're charged with 2 crimes. We've got I think a disorderly or disturbing the peace charge, 2nd-degree misdemeanor, punished up to 60 days in the county jail, and then resisting law enforcement without violence. That's a 1st-degree misdemeanor, punished up to the county jail. And yeah, it says here, ma'am, that you do not want the public defender's office to help you with this. Is that right?
I'm sorry, I didn't even talk out.
Do you want the public defender, ma'am, or no?
Yes, ma'am. Or yes, sir.
Yes, you do. All right. Well, then I'm going to change your form here to say that you are seeking. It did not. Do you have a job?
Yes, sir.
You do. All right. How much money do you bring home either weekly or bi-weekly?
Oh, I get
Social Security.
Yeah.
She says she gets Social Security, Your Honor.
Just your monthly Social Security. All right. Well, then you'll qualify. So I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you then. Is the jail showing any history that I need to be aware of?
She just got out of DOC in November for battery on a detainee and controlled substance paraphernalia. Those occurred in 23 and 24 respectively. VOP 23, disorderly conduct 23, resisting without, loitering and prowling, ag assault, burglary of an occupied dwelling, FTA in 19, ag assault again in 19, burglary of a dwelling, armed, resisting without violence, possession of paraphernalia, assault on the LEO in 18, possession of meth with intent to deliver 16, paraphernalia, a couple of VOPs in 16 and 15, lewd and lascivious 16 to 18 and 15. Older FTAs, criminal VOPs, ag batteries, resistings, trespasses. History goes back to 08.
Bad history. All right, Miss Bennett. It says transient. Do you live here?
I live in Florida, yeah.
Well, more specifically, what about Bay County? Do you live in Bay County, or are you just traveling through?
Burger King.
No, do you live in Bay County or are you just traveling through? Are you going somewhere else?
I'm going somewhere, maybe. No, then I'll be. No, I might go back to Perryville.
Okay, fair enough,
Okay.
ma'am.
I was
Well, Miss
thinking
Bennett,
about
based on that history and FTAs, here's what I'm going to do for you. I'll put a $2,500 bond on that disturbing the peace charge. I'll put a $5,000 bond on the resisting law enforcement for a total of $7,500 Wednesday morning at 8:30. Good luck to you, ma'am. Wednesday.
That means I could just sign
Hang
it.
on. I guess he said good luck. Come on.
Bye.
Next.
Red X, say your full name for the judge.
State your name.
Chelsea Andrews.
Good morning, Ms. Grooms. You're here today for your first appearance. And my understanding the jail has advised you of your rights. Ms. Grooms, you're not here because you have any local charges. It appears there was a warrant for your arrest out of Washington.
State your name.
Amber Wasserbeck.
Good morning, Mr. Plazaveg. You were here today for your first appearance, and my understanding the jail has advised you of your rights. Ma'am, you're here facing 2 charges, possession of a controlled substance, that being methamphetamine, 3rd-degree felony, punishable up to 5 years in the Department of Corrections, and also 1 count possession of drug paraphernalia. That's a 1st-degree misdemeanor, punishable up to 1 year in the county jail. And it says here, ma'am, that you would like the public defender's office to represent you and that you bring home about $300 a week in income. Is that correct?
The part about the income is correct. I wasn't aware that I was charged with possession of narcotics. No, I wasn't aware that there were narcotics found.
Well, now you are.
Yes, ma'am. According to the, yes, ma'am, there is. So according, the allegation is, I think they ran a field test on some paraphernalia, and apparently there was a weighable amount of methamphetamine, according to the police anyway. So that's the allegation. And again, at this point, everything is allegations. All right. So is the jail of any history on this?
Yes, sir. She's got a VOP in 25, petty theft 24.
I
some more
served my time
VOPs.
for that, Your Honor.
Resisting
That
without
shouldn't be-
24 and 23. This is just your
You shouldn't
history.
be prejudiced with that, Your
You
Honor.
guys
DV
good with
battery
this?
23, marijuana less than 2023 times 2, DV battery, pretrial release
That's
violations.
not correct, Your Honor.
Marijuana,
One
DV
charge.
battery 23,
I can
paraphernalia,
defend myself.
carry concealed firearm 23, disorderly intox 20, 15 trespass hit and run and
I
09,
can't
and
hear
then
you.
resisting
I'm
without no 4.
listening. I'm not trying to be rude, I'm trying to listen.
Oh, lots.
Your
Let me ask
Honor,
you
I
this.
am a-
How many FTAs?
Ma'am.
Ma'am, don't speak over us. I'll bring you back tomorrow. All right.
I
How
don't have
many
any
do we have to
FTAs.
show FTAs?
I don't have any FTAs I show.
All right. And you mentioned a VOP in 25. Is she on probation presently or is she off probation?
No, I don't believe so.
Okay, got it. All right. But lots and lots of history. But she does go to court. That's good. Ms. Waslake, do you live here locally, ma'am?
I do, was born and raised here. I'm an active
Great.
member of the community and no, I don't have a background, much of a background. That's only been in recent years. Had tangles with the police and all I can tell you is that I'm not a criminal. And these are not my drugs and this is not my
Okay,
drug.
ma'am, hold on.
But-
You don't, yes, ma'am. You're presumed innocent as you stand here. So here's what I'm going to do for you. I'll put a $7,500 bond on the possession of controlled substance, $2,500 on the paraphernalia. And your court date is going to be the 12th of June at 9 a.m. and you will be subjected to random UAs. Good luck to you, ma'am.
Okay, I have a question, Your Honor.
Yes, ma'am. What's your question?
Why is my bond, my preset bond together was less than what you just issued to me?
Yes, ma'am.
I've been
Well, that's
ROR.
because the preset bond doesn't take into account your history. And so based on your history, I set bonds based on that.
But I'm not a felon.
All right.
I'm not,
Go
okay.
Good luck to you.
Step out. Step out.
Daphne Bartley.
Good morning, Ms. Bartley. You were here today for your first appearance. And ma'am, if you remember yesterday, we had you at first appearance and in case 24-2320 CF. I executed a warrant for the violation of your probation in that matter based on you picking up a new charge. Nothing has changed. I held you without bond on that felony VOP. Nothing has changed other than I can give you a court date now of June 25th at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Say your
It'll
name.
probably be for 9 a.m. Mr. Lewis? Morning, Mr. Lewis. You were here today for your first appearance. My understanding, sir, the jail has advised you of your rights. Mr. Lewis, you're charged with 2 crimes. The first is domestic violence battery. That's a first-degree misdemeanor, punishable up to 1 year in the county jail. And then second charge, you had a petty theft based on the value, second-degree misdemeanor, punishable up to 60 days in the county jail. It says here, sir, that you would like the public defender's office to represent you and that you have no income. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, then I'll appoint the public defender's office to represent you on this. Is the jail showing any history on Mr. Lewis?
Florida last year, burglary, felony, trespass, grand theft. Alabama, 23, ag assault, public intox. Georgia, 22, terroristic threats, times 3, obstruction and trespass, 20 DV trespass. Illinois, 20 DV battery, 17 DV battery, 16 DV battery, 15 DV battery, aggravated pregnant victim, disorderly conduct, and that's all.
So 6 prior domestics, either felony or misdemeanor. So I would assume the state will probably, I'm assuming if there's a conviction in there somewhere, the state will then charge this as a felony rather than as a misdemeanor. All right, Mr. Lewis, and I heard Georgia, Alabama, and elsewhere across the country. Do you live here locally?
Yes, sir.
How long?
I used to live here about a year ago, then I came back. So I said I just got back to Panama this time around.
All right, how long did, about a year ago, you moved back here?
Yeah, no, I just moved back here about a week ago.
A week ago, all right.
I have 3 prior. I believe I only have 3 prior domestics in my background. So whatever this guy was reading, there's 3 in my prior, not 6. And then he said 3 counts of terroristic threats, which I beat those charges, by the way. There was no terroristic threats.
Oh, good Lord. Oh yeah, this guy over here is just totally over exaggerating my history. I've only got 3. Yeah, I mean he may even be right, but it's still bad.
So this
Yeah, so
guy
he's
just,
just
made up.
He just
Well, I
he
doubt
just
it.
arrested
Batteries.
for fiction.
Well, apparently he's not reading properly. It's made it sound like six prior charges. That's not the case.
All right.
Give it to
All right,
Florida.
Mr. Lewis, so this is going to be easy, sir. The first thing I'm going to tell you is that you shall have absolutely positively no contact with the alleged victim in this particular case, Miss Carmichael. And when I say no contact with Miss Carmichael, I do not just mean face to face. That also means don't call her from the jail phone, don't text her, don't email her, don't send her any kind of letters or any social media contact. Am I clear about that?
Yes, sir.
All right. Any contact, including those jail calls, they listen to every single one, regardless whether you use your phone or someone else's, result in new charges being placed against you. Clear?
That's clear.
All right. So here's what I'll do, Mr. Lewis, based on that history and that history of travel. I'll put a $25,000 bond on the DV battery. I'll put a $5,000 bond on the petty theft for a total of $30,000. Your court date is going to be the 13th of June at 8:30 in the morning. Good luck to you, sir.
Yep.
Next,
Enjoy jail.
step on the X, state your name, for the judge, please. Say your name.
Good morning, Mr. Stallings. You are here today for your first appearance. In my understanding, sir, the jail has advised you of your rights. Mr. Stallings, you are here charged with 1-count domestic violence battery. It's a first-degree misdemeanor, penalty up to 1 year in the county jail. Mr. Stallings, it says here that you would like the public defender's office to represent you, and that you bring home $500 a week in income. Is that correct?
Honestly, about 250. I'm like, yeah,
Okay.
250.
250. All right, well, I'll make that change for even if 500 qualify. So I'll appoint the PD's office to represent you. This is the jail showing any history on Mr. Stallings?
Last year, he had trespass construction site, possession of para, criminal mischief, 2 to 1,000. He's got juvenile history of sexual assault, 20, lewd and lascivious, incest, petty theft, fraudulent use of credit cards, and another petty theft going from 20 to 23.
Fair enough. Mr. Stallings, do you live here locally, sir? How long?
My whole life.
Whole life. All right. All right. So, Mr. Stallings, the first thing we need to talk about, sir, is the most important thing. And that is that you're going to have absolutely, positively no contact with the alleged victim in this case. And I think that's Miss Anthony. So don't call her, don't email her, don't text message her. You can't live in the same house. Don't mail her a letter, no social media contact. Am I clear about all that?
How long is this? Because we live together.
Until, yes, we will, until I order otherwise, because it'll be my case. So until I determine that it is safe, the answer is you may not. Clear?
Sir, hey, I know this is a first appearance and everything, but sir, this ain't true. This
Okay.
statement, it's not.
Okay.
It-
All right, Mr. Stallings, again, we're not conducting any evidentiary hearings today. I have to go by the four corners of that affidavit, and so that's what we're going with today. So I'm sure you may have a different story, but that's not relevant for today's purposes. Okay.
Sir.
All right, Mr. Stallings, here's what I'm going to do for you then, sir. I'll put a $10,000 bond on you. I've already ordered no contact with her. And your court date is the 13th of June, 8:30 in the, yes, sir.
I don't have that type of money. 10,000.
Yes, sir. Good luck to you.
Next. Say your name.
First name Tracy, last name Wynn, middle initial H.
All right. Good morning, Mr. Wynn. You were here today for your first appearance. In my understanding, sir, the jail has advised you of your rights. Mr. Wynn, you are here facing four charges. You've got driving under the influence. Assuming it's your first time with that charge, it is a misdemeanor punishable up to 6 months in the county jail. Then you've also got driving without a valid driver's license, second-degree misdemeanor punishable up to 60 days in the county jail. And also possession of marijuana less than 20 grams and possession of drug paraphernalia. Each of those two charges are first-degree misdemeanors punishable up to 1 year in the county jail. And it says here, sir, that you do not want the public defender's office to represent you. Is that correct?
What would be the difference if I did or did not? I'm very, very,
Well,
very new.
All right, well, so the difference, well, it's not really a difference, but you have two options. I mean, you obviously have the right to be represented by an attorney. If you want to hire your own attorney, you can do that. If you don't believe you can afford to do that, if you believe you are indigent, you can apply for the public defenders, and if you qualify, I would appoint them today.
Indigent meaning that like I'm not susceptible to the charges that I did get hit with?
No,
or
sir.
I
No, no, sir. Indigent. No, that's innocent. Indigent means that you can't afford to hire an attorney. You don't have enough money.
Yeah, let me get the indigent guy.
All right. Well, let's see. Okay. Well, and then I'm going to change this form to indicate that you are.
I really enjoyed the indigent versus innocent. You're probably indigent. You're definitely not innocent.
Seeking the appointment. I'll put my initials on that. So let me see if you are truly indigent, Mr. Wynn. So do you have a job?
Yes, sir, I do actually. I was
All
supposed
right.
to
Well,
get
then
paid.
tell me this: how much money do you bring home, like every week or every 2 weeks, from that job, from that employment?
Every 2 weeks I get paid from McDonald's. It's roughly about maybe like a $300 to $400 check.
All right. Then clearly you are indigent. So I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you. So you now have an attorney. Okay.
Congratulations. That's a horrible amount to make.
All right. Is the jail showing any history on Mr. Wynn?
You get a free attorney.
Ag battery elsewhere in Florida in 21, resisting without in 20. And looks like military's got wrongful use of marijuana in 17. That's it.
All right. Mr. Wynn, I heard you said you worked at McDonald's. Do you work at the local McDonald's?
Yes, sir, to the Parkway.
All right.
I like to live.
All right.
I like
How long have you lived here?
How long have I lived in my city? I'm transient at the moment. The vehicle that I got picked up, me and my wife live out.
Yes, thank you, Look-Efficient. I saw that. Big Dummy $1 Trillion SovCit put out a couple of cope streams. They were pretty funny, but not good enough to do. He just, just called everybody else stupid, despite the fact that he's the one that's getting his car impounded and going to jail.
So there is no.
Fair enough.
I mean,
Yes,
if you want to say I live in McDonald's parking lot.
okay. All right. Yes, sir.
Your Honor, if I
Yes,
may,
ma'am. Yes.
sir, you do have a vehicle, correct?
Yes,
Mr.
ma'am.
Wynn?
It's not in my name. Yes, ma'am. It's not in my name, but it is what is it, licensed and insured.
Okay,
through my
but
wife.
that's, you can drive that to the courthouse to make sure that you appear in court, is that right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and you work at McDonald's regularly, show up for work?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, it's
Your Honor, I would just
right now.
ask if you would consider a pretrial release for him.
I was leaning that way based on the history. So, Mr. Wynn, the only thing I'm going to caution you on that, you understand that by picking up this DUI charge, that ticket would serve as a license for 10 days. But then you're also charged with operating a motor vehicle without a valid license. So make sure you're not the one driving the vehicle. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. All right. So, Mr. Wynn, here's what I'll do. I'll release you pre-trial release. And so what I'm going to do is I'm not going to have you come tomorrow because we have jury selection and it's really busy here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to order that you come to the courthouse on Tuesday morning. That's May 13th. And make sure you appear by 11 a.m. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. Now that's for pretrial release. That's not your court date. Your court date is the 13th of June at 8:30. All right. So make sure you also show up for court on that day. And sir, I will also order that you not possess nor consume any alcoholic beverages. And obviously, since you're living in a motor vehicle, you can't have alcohol inside that vehicle. You understand that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. Okay, sir. We'll see you for court. Good luck to you.
Step over there for me.
God bless.
Next.
Those dates written down.
You're gonna have a date. We're gonna give it to you. State your name.
James Derrick Cotton, birthday 03/20/1990, born in Pensacola.
All right, Mr. Cotton of Pensacola. Good morning, sir. You are here today for your first appearance. In my understanding, sir, the jail has advised you of your rights. Mr. Cotton, you are here facing 2 counts of petty theft. Normally, those are misdemeanors. However, the allegation is that you have at least 2 prior convictions for petty theft, making each of these charges now 3rd-degree felonies, punishable up to 5 years at the Department of Corrections. Also, sir, one count hold on, Mr. Cotton, and also you're facing 1 count of failure to register as a convicted felon. That's a 2nd-degree misdemeanor, punishable up to 60 days in the county jail. And Mr. Cotton, obviously everything I'm telling you is just all allegations. Certainly you're presumed innocent. No one has convicted you of anything at this time. And Mr. Cotton, it says here that you would like, or that you do not rather want the public defender's office to represent you. Is that right?
I don't want a public defender. I want my mama, my legal guardian, or my payee to be my power of attorney. Number
Well, I
one,
can tell you, Mr. Cotton, that unfortunately a power of attorney doesn't make somebody actually an attorney. So your
Well,
mom,
I
if she's
understand
not
that.
a
You ain't gotta
licensed attorney, should be able to represent you in this. Okay,
you
just
ain't
know
gotta
that.
explain that to me. I have a right. It's one of my rights. That if I don't want no public defender or no paid attorney to represent me at this point in time, and then I want to say this on record while being recorded, I'm in the process of trying to get my mother, and I won't change my mind to be a power of attorney since she got on record of my over my account, and her name is Mary Cotton, and I'm reading on these charges.
She can have a power of attorney over you, no doubt. Is the jail showing any history on Mr. Cotton?
Yes, sir.
Other than petty thefts, obviously. Anything other than petty thefts?
He's got false news of 911 in April, disorderly conduct February, resisting without, misuse of 911 again, trespass. Last year, possession of a weapon by felony, he got sentenced to the OC for that. Petty theft, another possession of weapon of ammo by felon 23, false report, trespass, paraphernalia, carry an unlicensed weapon, marijuana possession.
I would like to say 2 things.
Any FTAs?
All due respect, I would like to say something.
Hold on.
I mean, I ain't.
Yes, sir. Not yet. Any FTAs?
All right.
I don't see any FTAs.
All right. Mr. Cotton, do you live here locally?
Sir?
Do you live here locally?
Yes, sir.
How long?
I've been here since living in Bay County since 2020. The end of 2020, November of 2020.
All right, Mr. Cotton, then here's what I'm going to do for you, sir. I'm going to put these are felony charges only because you have so many priors, but I'll put a $2,500 bond on each of those theft counts and a $2,500 bond on that failure to register. So $7,500 will be your total because you do go to court.
I would like to say this.
And your court date is the 12th of June at 9 a.m.
All right. It's important for me to tell you this. It's real important for me to tell you I got a job out there right now. I am employed right now.
Yes, sir. And that's why, yes, sir. I gave you 3 very small bonds, so you should be able to post bond and live your life.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Good luck to you.
Question number 2 is these people say it on the paperwork. I don't know if they got the right person or not, but they say they ain't got no tattoos or no scars and stuff like that.
Sir, the judge is not here to hear the facts of your case
not here
today.
to
He's
determine
just
that, sir.
setting bond.
Yes, sir. I'm not your judge. Good luck to you, sir.
All right.
Say your name. Say your name.
Milton Sampson.
Good morning, Mr. Sampson. You were here today for your first appearance. In my understanding, sir, the jail has advised you of your rights. Mr. Sampson, you were charged with 1 count of aggravated battery with a deadly weapon, 2nd-degree felony, punishable up to 15 years in the Department of Corrections. And it says here, sir, that you would like the public defender's office to represent you and that you have no income. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right, sir. Then I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Is the jail aware of any history on Mr. Sampson?
Got an FTA last year, a misdemeanor, threatened to do harm to a Leo, disorderly intox, 22 resisting without disorderly intox, and then Georgia 16 trespass, and that's it.
And that's it. Mr. Sampson, do you live here locally, sir?
Yes, I do.
How long?
6 years now, John.
6 years. All right. All right, Mr. Sampson, the first thing we need to talk about is going to be the most important thing we talk about. And that is that you're going to have absolutely no contact with the alleged victim in this particular case. And I think that is a Mr. Doomers. So no contact with him profession, which means that doesn't just mean face to face. That also means don't call him, don't email him, don't text message him, any form of contact. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
All right, fair enough. All right, Mr. Sampson, I'll put a $25,000 bond on you. Your court date is the 26th of June at 9 a.m. Good luck to you, sir.
June this year?
Yes.
Yes,
Next
June
month.
of this year. Yeah, definitely not next year. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Do you need him? Come on, step out. Next. Say your name.
Rashad Hayes.
Good morning, Mr. Hayes. You were here today for your first appearance. My understanding, sir, the jail has advised you of your rights. Mr. Hayes, you were here facing 4 charges. The first one is the biggest, trafficking in fentanyl. It was the minimal amount, the 4 grams. That's a first-degree felony, punishable up to 30 years in the Department of Correction, and that also carries a 3-year minimum mandatory prison sentence if convicted of that charge. Also, possession of a controlled substance, that being THC extract, that's a 3rd-degree felony, punishable up to 5 years in the Department of Corrections. And then marijuana less than 20 grams and drug paraphernalia. Each of those 2 charges are first-degree misdemeanors, punishable up to 1 year in the county jail. And it says here, sir, that you would like the public defender's office to represent you and that you bring home about $500 a week in income. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
All right, then you do qualify. So I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Is the jail showing any history on Mr. Hayes?
I'm showing him on VOP status with an active VOP, but I'm not sure about it. So 173 mm. Marijuana paraphernalia.
Yeah, we had noticed
not
that
on-
too, but it looks like it's been active for so long, but it was in VOP status, but then it looks like just nothing ever happened in over a year. So I would think jurisdiction is lost.
Okay.
Mr. Hayes, are you on probation in that case?
No, sir. I had completed my probation. I paid it off. And on the other charge I had beat it. I'm not on no probation, no pending charges or nothing.
Yeah, it was just the 23 case that we looked at that as well. And it didn't make much sense to me. I think what happened is he completed it and just no order was ever done because it didn't make much sense to me when I was looking at it. But
sure
certainly I'll bring it up to Jessica's attention tomorrow and she can look at it. And if she believes otherwise, they can always file an affidavit. But I'm not going to mess with it today based on what I saw online. Is there anything else the jail shows?
Yeah, it was a felony drop from marijuana with intent to sell ×2 and paraphernalia, and then he had paraphernalia 21, marijuana 21, grand theft 5 to 10K and 15, burglary unarmed, and 15 in an old disorderly conduct. That's it. Those are
any FTAs in there?
I don't see one. I just see the one VOP.
Okay. Mr. Hayes, so you live here locally, don't you?
Yes, sir. And I work locally too. I've been here my whole life.
All right.
The beaches are beautiful. But yeah, the schools and the
all right,
stuff.
Mr. Hayes. So here's what we're going to do for you, sir.
Pretty shaky.
Obviously, that fentanyl charge is a big one. I'll put $100,000 bond on that one. I'll put $2,500 on each of the other charges, including that THC, the marijuana, and the paraphernalia. Your court date on all of this is going to be the 26th of June at 9 a.m. And then if you do post those bonds, you will be subject to random UAs. Good luck to you, sir.
All right. Next. Step in next. State your name for the judge, please.
Mr. Underwood.
Good morning, Mr. Underwood. You were here today for your first appearance. And my understanding, sir, the jail has advised you of your rights. Mr. Underwood, you are here on 5
PCB,
charges.
Panama City
The way
Beach.
it worked out is there were warrants
Not
for your
PBC.
arrest for 1 count of driving while license suspended or revoked,
Second
and
with
also
ChatGTP.
resisting law enforcement without violence. And then also you had possession of cocaine. There was a warrant for your arrest on that. Then you picked up a new resist and driving while license suspended. So ultimately what you've got is 2 resist charges You've got two driving while license suspended or revoked charges, and then a cocaine charge. The cocaine's a third-degree felony, punishable up to 5 years in the Department of Corrections. Everything else is first-degree misdemeanors, punishable up to 1 year in the county jail.
Can I ask something?
Yes, sir, absolutely.
Sir, the day I got arrested with that cocaine, I was giving a friend of mine a ride. She told
Oh, no,
me
that's not a question. Hold on, no, sir. We're not making any factual determinations today. We're not conducting any evidence. You're presumed innocent. I'm just here today for first purposes. Okay, save that for either your attorney or the judge that's going to be handling your case. Okay.
Well, can my mom was sick, sir, with cancer real bad, and they giving her like 6 weeks. And I don't have no bond money. I was saying if I could get it.
Let's see what the jail tells me. Let's see. First, let's see if you qualify for the PD's office. It says here that you don't have a job, no income. Is that right?
Sir, I just got hired.
Okay. Have you
I don't
gotten?
know what he told you. I didn't have a job.
Have you received a paycheck?
I work out there. I just started at the port.
All right. You just started. When did you start at the port?
Last Friday, sir.
All right. So I'm assuming last Friday. So I'm assuming you haven't been paid yet, right?
Right. I get my first check coming up this Friday.
All right. Well, I'm going to appoint the PD's office for now. Is the jail showing any history on Mr. Underwood?
May of 22 VOP. He's got 2 VOPs, 21, 1 and 20 for a total of 3 VOP and 21, grand theft and 19, needle SR 16, paraphernalia, cocaine possession and marijuana. And he's got some older FTAs and VOPs and controlled substance and some child support and all that, going back to 03. That's it.
All right. So, Mr. Underwood, based on that history, sir, you've got a lot of history going back a lot of years. So the answer to your question is I'm not gonna release you ROR or pretrial release based on that history that I heard. But here's what I will do for you, Mr. Underwood. I'm not going to put excessive bonds on you. I'll put a $5,000 bond on the cocaine. I'll put a $2,500 bond on everything else, each of the other 4 charges. Your court date is going to be the 16th of June at 9 o'clock in the morning. And if you do bond out, you'll be subjected to random UAs. Good luck to you, Mr. Underwood.
We'll get you a sheet. Your Honor, Mr. Franks, he decided to try to flee and elude from video court, so he's been removed.
All right. That's it. Well, let's see. He was charged, I think, 3 different law enforcement agencies. So he had 1, 2, 3 fleeing and lootings. It's just a willful. He just chose not to be here, right? There's no medical or anything like that.
Not that I'm aware of.
Yeah.
He was down here and then he was not. So.
And then he was all right. Fair enough. Well, I'll just say response. I'm obviously not going to appoint the PD's office since he's not here to answer questions. Just generally, what does his history look like?
Mississippi, possession of meth 24, DV assault, flee and elude 22, ag DV assault and 20, burglary 19, burglary 16, DV assault. Locally, he's got
I'm not clear. Did this guy
FTAs, petty thefts, the DUIs going back to 09.
Did this guy just bust out? Because he's saying he was down there and now he's not.
He's not on probation or anything like that, though.
Did he just run out of the Bay County jail?
All right, here's what I will do with Mr. Franks then. On the 3 fleeing and eluding charges, I will put a $50,000 bond on each of those. On the battery, on the law enforcement officer, $10,000. On the resisting law enforcement with violence, $10,000. And on each of the misdemeanors, the 2 DUIs and the resist, without violence, I'll put a $5,000 bond on each of those. And he's not to possess or consume any alcohol. If he does get out of jail, he will be subjected to random UAs. And his court date is the 26th of June at 9 a.m.
Yes, sir. Go ahead and state your name.
Brian Campbell.
Good morning, Mr. Campbell. You are here today for your first appearance, and my understanding, sir, the jail has advised you of your rights. Mr. Campbell, you are here facing 4 charges. We've got 1 count of grand theft, 3rd-degree felony, punishable up to 5 years in the Department of Corrections. Also possession of a controlled substance, that being methamphetamine, also a 3rd-degree felony. And then you've got paraphernalia and petty theft. And I think based on the value of the petty theft, I believe, yeah, they were both 1st-degree misdemeanors punishable up to 1 year in the county jail.
So I got
Let's see. Mr. Campbell, it says that you do not want the public defender's office to represent you. Is that right?
I mean, I would like somebody to represent me for right now, but I don't want to just misuse them and not use them later. That's why I kind of told them I'll just wait.
Well,
to
that's
see.
it. Well, it's up to you. What I would tell you, Mr. Campbell, is that if you intend to hire a private attorney, you know, you certainly are entitled to do that. If you believe you need the public defender's office, then apply. If you think you want them, you drop them later, absolutely, but it'll cost you $100. So that'll be added off. So it's up to you.
Yes, sir.
So
I would,
yes or
yes.
no on the PD then?
Yes.
Yes on the PD. All right. Well, then I'm going to change it to say that you are seeking, and let's see if you qualify. Do you have any income? Do you have a job?
Yes, I have a job.
All right. How much money do you bring home either weekly or biweekly as part of that employment?
My job is almost like a on-call type deal. So I probably say about 500 every 2 weeks or 500 a week sometimes. It varies.
Well, 500 every 2 weeks or 500 a week is a big difference. What is it, 500 every 2 weeks or 500 a week?
Sometimes it be like that. Sometimes I get calls, sometimes I don't.
All right.
I basically get paid for the job.
Those out, you'll qualify for the PD's office, so I will appoint them to represent you. And as I told you, if you hire a private attorney, the public defender's office will gladly step aside and let your private attorney represent you. Is the jail showing any history on Mr. Campbell?
Elsewhere in Florida, DOSR habitual 24, resisting without, DV aggravated battery, fleeing and elude, 2 more DVSR habituals. FTA 22, grand theft 18, DOSR habitual, no valid DL. 17, FTA times 2, DOSR habitual, flee and elude, DOSR habitual times 2. Possession of controlled substance. 16, another DOSR habitual, controlled substance paraphernalia, marijuana. FTA 15, FTA, VOP times 2, possession of marijuana with intent to distribute marijuana, VOP. Pennsylvania, he's got counterfeiting in 18, VOP 19, and 22, and then 17 unlawful device making times 2 and bad checks.
Straight up hardcore criminal.
Lots of history. And that I think I counted 5 FTAs then. Is that what we've got?
1, 2,
And can I say something, Judge, please?
3, 4.
Not yet.
Case done.
Okay.
Yeah, 5.
Okay.
5. All right. So, Mr. Campbell, certainly you may say something, but understand this is a criminal proceeding. You have the right to remain silent. You're presumed innocent. Everything you say is being recorded. It can be used against you. So you can talk yourself out of that presumption. But if there's something you want to say, I'll listen.
Yeah, because I see that you was pertaining to the FTAs. A lot of those FTAs, or when they mostly came from because I was incarcerated from 18 to 22, and then from 22 to 24. So those charges I had got, I went to prison for those charges already. I wasn't just racking up, so to speak, racking up charges, Your Honor.
So fair enough.
It sounded better than it is, so to speak. I said.
You wasn't running.
No, I wasn't running. I was already paying my debt to society.
All right. Mr. Campbell, and I believe you live in Orlando. Is that right?
Yes, sir. I have family here though. That's what my business was here yesterday.
All right. Fair. Well, Mr. Campbell, here's what I'm going to do for you then, based on that history. Sounds like you've been a DOC before from what you're telling me. I'll put a $20,000 bond on the grand theft, 5,000 on the meth charge, 2,500 on the paraphernalia, and 5,000 on the petty theft. Stay out of those, the two victims at Hibbett store on 23rd Street.
Well, it looks like that's the end of the stream. All right, this is Lucificent's fault. We'll go over and check out. We'll check out Big Dummy's Cope stream.
All right, y'all. Here's another one. So I gotta say, people are stupid. Like, they're just dumb. You can cite the Constitution, the state constitution, the United States Code, the UCC. It doesn't matter what you cite. Laws, statutes, codes, constitution.
Yeah, because you're wrong. You don't understand any of those things, and you cite them for the wrong propositions. I doubt you can read. But let's look at your outcomes. Your outcomes are getting your car impounded and ending up in jail. Those are your outcomes. Genius.
Constitutions, trust law, private law, contract law. But no matter what, people just refuse to even engage their own minds. They're just beaten down like horses that have been whipped. And
the biggest projection I've ever seen in my life.
They just comply. They're indoctrinated into doing whatever some random person on the street says if he flashes a badge at them, simply out of fear and cowardice. I mean, state of California, state of Nevada, these are foreign corporations, foreign, straight up foreign. And their agents are the attorneys. These are foreign agents. By literal function, if the courts are franchises of said foreign entity, which is the state of California, state of Nevada, if the United States is a federal corporation and the state of is a subsidiary of that same foreign corporation, and these agents are their agents, officers of the court,
Which is number one.
and they're all
Wrong.
foreign agents. I mean, it's in the Constitution. It literally says all this. State constitutions exist for a reason. But again, people just refuse to even use their damn minds. And it's crazy. Somebody can come on TV and say something and they'll believe it within instance. These people will go off. They can read 1,000 books. They can read the Constitution, state statutes, codes, United States codes, everything. And then have some attorney, some retarded, scandalous, indoctrinated foreign puppet come in and say, hey, that's not real. And they, oh, okay. All their critical thinking just goes right out the window. It's like if you were to measure how much of their brain they're actually using, it's probably like 15%, maybe 5%.
I like it. This whole stupid speech, which is just wrong on every level, of course. I mean, it's so stupid it doesn't need to be addressed. But after all this in the video, where he gets pulled over again for his fake plate, what does he do? He cries, I want to call my daddy and an attorney. Of course, because you don't know anything. Oh, it's fun.
Like these people, I see why they call them wards of the state, incompetents, legally disabled people, minors, because truly, they're all dum-dums running around talking about people are SovCits and what is a SovCit? You don't even know what
You're a SovCit. You're a SovCit. A SovCit is a person who posts meet your straw man on their YouTube page, then puts a private plate and cites the UCC for authority on things it has nothing to do with. That is the very definition of a SovCit. And that's what you are.
what you're saying. You're just regurgitating shit like an idiot. It's funny. Truly is. But yeah, man, I just had to say it's my.
You are funny. We enjoy you making a clown of yourself. It's good for our amusement. I'll give you that.
It's mind blowing how stupid people are. Like truly, I pledge allegiance to the flag for the republic for which it stands, and they don't even believe in the damn republic. Like, they literally have shit right in front of their faces, and they don't even know how to read or decipher it.
Says the guy who clearly is a homegrown American dummy, claiming he's a foreign national. Oh my God. All right. The rest of the video is basically just that. Where are we at here? The rest of the video is basically just that. Let me see what else we have here. This is all Lakificent's fault. She sent me this stuff and I was dealing with it midstream. Let me see if I can find this. I don't know if this will show up. Oh yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I think this is him. This is the jail information management system. Super genius, telling us how to conduct our lives. The arrest date 5/8/25. I don't know if this is him for sure because I don't know this guy that well, but this is an arrest for a Kevin Lewis Walker. I'm guessing that's him. So there we are. We're at the Murrieta Southwest Justice Center. So Big Genius is going to teach you, if you follow his teachings, you too can get your car impounded and end up in jail. Oh, that'll be awesome. All right. Thanks, Lakificent. That was fun. That was fun. Just a little update. I knew he would do a cope stream. The rest of that, I did a video yesterday. I used Van Balion's video. He has basically the same substance in terms of the video. It looks like it was his video. I mentioned yesterday there was body cam, but yeah, clearly it's from his perspective. So this clown videos himself getting absolutely owned by a police officer, losing bad. And then he posts it and does a cope stream about how he's misunderstood. You're not misunderstood. You're not misunderstood. You're a 2-bit punk who broke the law and got arrested for it. It wasn't the crime of the century, but that's what happened. And everybody knows it. And you're dumber than a box of rocks. And everyone else knows that. But thank you for the entertainment. We do appreciate it. Happy Mother's Day to everybody. Thank you for coming on. I appreciate it. I hope everyone's having a good day. I'll see y'all soon.